Today's podcast is brought to you by the Herzog Foundation. 2024 was a whirlwind for Moms for America. I can't believe everything that we accomplished, and I know there are more great things ahead. Our fearless leader, Kimberly Fletcher, is joining us today as we celebrate our milestone year and talk about 2025. Stay with us. Welcome to the Moms for America podcast. Each week, special guests tackle the issues facing the moms of America today. Discussions include personal stories and advice on how moms can build a strong foundation of faith, family, and freedom in their homes and country. Hey moms, I'm Debbie Curlettis, your host, and welcome to the Moms for America podcast. I'm so glad that all of you are joining us again this week. We love you mamas, right? Every week we get together to inspire, encourage, and educate moms in their journey through motherhood. Well, before we get to today's special guest, which she is absolutely amazing, I do want to just take a quick minute here and encourage you to watch this program if you can. If you're listening and that's the only way you can do it this week, that's okay. But we would prefer it if you had a chance to watch it because we have several video highlights on today's show. So if you could stop by YouTube, Rumble, Moms for America on X, and watch the program, you really will appreciate it because we have some incredible highlight reels that we want to share with you. My guest today needs no introduction to our Moms for America audience. 20 years ago, it was Kimberly Fletcher's vision that was laid on her heart by God to start what became Moms for America. I can speak for hundreds of thousands of moms in saying that we are so glad and so delighted that she listened to that still small voice. And today, I am so happy and I'm so honored to have Kimberly as our special guest today. Well, here she is, our incredible fearless leader, the woman that I absolutely love and adore, Kimberly Fletcher on the Moms for America podcast. Welcome, Miss Kimberly.
Well, this is cool because I get to be with the famous Debbie from the podcast. Every time we walk in a room, it's like, I know her.
Well, thank you, really, because you've given me the opportunity to use some of my skills and my background. And I'm so blessed to be a part of Moms for America. And you and I have been together a little over 8 years, Kimberly.
Crazy. Do people even know the story of how that even started?
You can give a quick blurb on that before we get into this year and what's coming up.
Well, it was an amazing story. So everybody on the team knows that I now have a prayer wall full of Post-it notes, and Debbie was one of my really big Post-it notes that came off my prayer wall. And it was 2017, and we were holding the Moms March for America, and everybody that I asked to come came. And they came just for travel and lodging, and I didn't know what to do with it because I had basically a 10-hour show. How do you do that? And it was going to be broadcasts, live stream across the country, around the world. And Debbie reached out as someone she saw me on an interview, and she sent an email to our team. And I had a very small team at the time, like 5 volunteers who were working on this event. And one of them was answering the emails. And I told her, I said, listen, I don't have a time to answer all the emails. You're going to have to fill them for me. So if something really important comes through, just put urgent or put important in the subject line. If it's really important, put urgent. And so a couple of days later, I got an email and it said urgent. And then in the body, it said, stop whatever you're doing, read this and call this woman right now. And so I read through the resume and I was like, oh my gosh, she's like literally everything I need for this event. And so I called Debbie and she was talking about, being willing to do an event in Illinois. And I said, well, that'd be nice, but what I really need is a producer for this show. And she literally just came galloping in like a hero from the mid-ages and just changed everything. And in an epic change, it became something cute to something absolutely phenomenal. And we have been together ever since. And her light definitely shines when it comes to podcast events and productions. And I have no interest in doing that. So I just do what she tells me to do. And so here I am.
It has been really a great friendship and a great, I don't know. It's great when you meet somebody, you click, you know that God brought you together to do great things and you needed support and help. And I was glad to be a part of it. So here we are. here we are.
I kind of have a feeling we probably were doing great things in heaven before we got here, and it was just nice to reconnect.
We are. We tell everybody we are dangerous together. That is for sure. So we laugh about that all the time. But yes, Kim, so I'm with you 8.5 years, but you've had this organization for 20. We've got a lot of great things to talk about. I do love the end of the year because you get a chance to reminisce, you get a chance to talk about upcoming projects and initiatives. It's really kind of fun to see what God has done, you know? But before we do that, Christmas is just getting over with. We've got New Year's right ahead of us. Tell us a little bit about the holidays with your family. You have quite a quiver over there. What's Christmas like over at the Fletchers?
It's loud sometimes. It's really great. It starts at Thanksgiving, and we have five of our children. I have eight, and five of our sons are now married. And so, you have the shared whose turn is it this year? And so we get every other year with some of the kids, and they try to time it so that their off year is all at the same time, so that their on year, they're all here together. It doesn't
Oh,
always
that's
work
nice.
out that way, but they try to time it out that way. Thanksgiving is when it starts, and those who can come. And then it's just kind of a big family thing all the way through to the new year. We have a couple special things that we do as a family. We have a nativity advent calendar that is really more like an experience. And every day we add a new nativity figure, we sing a song, we read a scripture from the story. And then we do that all the way up to Christmas Eve. And then on Christmas Eve, it's our decked out night. And
You're looking
I
at this.
I have roast beef, mashed potatoes, the whole thing. And then everybody dresses in, well,
Kind of
sometimes
formal
they come
wear,
in
right?
gowns. Yeah. It's a black tie, but we don't require the black tie. The girls always get dressed to the nines, and the guys are like, what do I have to wear? And even the grandkids, it's so adorable. They come in their beautiful dresses and little suits. And then we get our family pictures, and we have our formal dinner. And then we read the Christmas story. And I sing Oh Holy Night. It's the only thing my husband asks for Christmas every year. And the last thing that we say is tomorrow is Jesus's birthday, so let's sing happy birthday. And then the next morning it's mass chaos.
Yeah.
It's like with all the kids coming down and the gifts opening. And when you have eight children and five daughters-in-law and nine grandchildren, it just gets a little crazy. And Mima,
Wow.
my mom comes from downstairs. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't have it any other way. We live
Yeah.
like the Waltons in our home right now. It just worked out that way because my two of my sons started a business together, and this allowed them to be able to put their money into the business. And
Hmm.
so I have four grandchildren that live in the house all the time, and two that live 5 minutes from me. And my one son and his family are looking at houses tomorrow, and I'm not happy about it because I just assume they lived here forever. But you gotta have move on and have your own house. They've had their own house. It's time to have it again. But
Yeah.
it's a
That's
lot of
great.
love,
A lot of
and
love.
it's a lot of joy. I
Yeah.
wouldn't have it any other way.
Oh, I love the Fletchers. What a great family over there. And they're all so great. And your husband, Derek, I mean, he's been on the road with us. Cassie's been on the road with us. Zach's been on the road with us. I mean, a lot of people are helping at all facets of the organization. And that's what we love about it because it's a mission for all of us. And right when you start something like this as a president, a founder, a CEO, your whole family has to be on board with this. I mean, this is
They
not
do.
something you can do on your own.
No, and it reminds me a lot of my husband and his career when people talk about, the military service members. It's a family affair. It's the
Yeah,
whole family. And
sure
I
is.
think probably a lot of where we are and the way that we do things came from that experience,
Mm.
because when you move so much, if you want to make friends, you're going to have to open your mouth because you move too much, and you don't have time to wait around for somebody else to introduce themselves.
Yeah.
And so my all of the kids have become acclimated to being able to be outgoing at some level, to being a part of something, to being wanting to contribute. They're all patriotic. They've seen their dads serve in the
They sure
military
have.
and go overseas and in battle. And it it forms a kind of atmosphere and
Hmm.
culture in your home that permeates for throughout as more family members come in and kids get married, it permeates through the whole entire family. And
Sure
they've all
does.
kind of become part of the Fletcher clan. So we stay close. We have a family chat on our cell phones. There's also a kids chat that Derek and I aren't allowed to be on. We don't know what goes on in that one. There's a girls chat. They have game nights together. So we are just there's a lot of us, but we stay very, very close and engaged. And so I think that all helped us prepare for mom
Yeah.
to be a part of this national organization where she's traveling all over the place. And they naturally wanted to be a part of it in some way. And even if it's just, supporting,
Yeah.
making sure that the
I
house
think all of your kids have
doesn't fall
volunteered and
apart.
helped it at
They
every
have.
event, every time, all across the country. So I've seen them always serving and helping. So we love you guys. You're an amazing family. So let's talk about 2024. Boy, it's really fun. I mean, for you and I to reminisce about 2024, it was an incredible year. What a banner year for us.
Yeah. So I was just talking to Cassie the other day and I said, yeah, do you remember like a couple of years ago when we did that thing with Tucker, that event with Tucker? And she's like, Mom, that was April. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, that was this year? It seems like the last 2 years they've gone so fast, they've been like a blur. But this one was really spectacular. It was kind of like building and building and building to it because this was our 20th
Yes.
year anniversary. And I wanted to do something, big and amazing. And
Yeah.
we were able to all come together in Dallas, and a lot of our team was able to come. We had an incredible 3-day event. And the one thing that we heard after it was, can we do this again? And
Yeah.
poor Debbie, she's like,
Yeah. So yeah, so let's talk about this summit. So you say, Deb, we've got to do a 3-day summit. I think we had, I don't know, is it 6, 7 weeks maybe to do this? I mean, it was
it
very
wasn't more
unusual.
than maybe 7. I think it was
Yeah.
closer to 6.
Yeah. So she
It
said,
was nuts.
and the one thing I do know with working with Kimberly all these years is that she dreams big. And that is absolutely why I love being, the person that holds your purse and, helps here as the vice president, because I love going with people that dream big because that's how you get things done. Sometimes it's painful and it's difficult and it's stressful, but you as a leader, you have a really big vision. And I know you're always talking to the man upstairs and he's always guiding your steps and influencing you in beautiful ways. So you said, Deb, let's do this summit. So we did a 3-day summit that celebrated our 20th anniversary. What do we have? 72 speakers and panels?
It was crazy. 72 speakers. We had moms from all over the country who came. It was live streamed to those who weren't able to come. We had Jim Caviezel, Sebastian Gorka. I mean, I can't even, there were so many. And Linda
Yeah.
McMahon, just, it was an incredible event. And everybody was very inspired. And that was the whole point of it because the election was just right around the corner. The the caucuses had just recently finished, and
It's true.
there was Super Tuesday. It was the Tuesday right after our event was Super Tuesday, and so we wanted to make sure that moms realize just how powerful and significant their influences is in our country and culture, and with their vote. And
Hmm.
I think it made a big difference. President Trump seems to think so, so
Yeah, he sure
that's good. But I think it really kicked off, even though it was in March, not January. Thank goodness. It really kicked off the whole entire year. And I think it gave all the moms the energy that they needed to be able to go out there and knock on those doors and make those
Yeah,
phone calls and do the things that they did to make the difference, not just for the election, but in shifting the culture in the right way and holding the line to protect our kids and our freedoms. It was a
absolutely.
great way to kick off the year.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, we just happen to have a great highlight reel about the Dallas Summit that we love to show everyone. So you'll get a chance, those that are watching, to see what our summit looked like this past year in Dallas, Texas. Here we go.
Look at this amazing crowd! This is amazing, and I can't wait for the rest of the weekend.
Where would any of us be without our moms? We wouldn't exist without our moms. We are as close to losing it right now as we ever have been in the 246 years of our existence. And the only thing that's going to keep us from losing it is we the people. And a big part of we the people is we the moms, right?
What moms do in their homes impacts the world in its entirety.
It's your role as a mother to fight for your children.
What Moms for America, what they are doing is phenomenal. And I'm sorry, I said ladies and gentlemen. If I use your wrong pronouns, I don't care.
Let's welcome Jim Caviezel, our Champion of Freedom recipient.
Mothers and grandmothers play a critical role in nurturing and bringing forward the family.
We will champion truth. We will walk by faith. We will be forever grateful for this calling, the honor and the role of being a mom.
There is power in being a mom because we truly care. Nobody's going to care more about your children than you. And that's what this group is about, is real women getting together to fight real battles for our country.
So take the time, get out there, show up and make your voice heard. And organizations like Moms for America is so important because they can help you organize.
You can't push anything on our kids. We will stand up for our kids no matter what the consequences may be.
I was unaware of how gender ideology, which is this lie that kids are being taught, that you choose your gender identity, that you can choose to be a boy, a girl, neither or both, is being, pushed and infiltrated in public schools all over our country.
The unions are not teachers. They aren't even a union in the traditional sense. Who are they? They're communists. They're exploiting teachers to get a handle on your kids, to get their minds and to get their bodies. It's sick, and we need to call them what they are. They're demons, and they're doing the work of the devil.
And don't ever, ever get discouraged because you are the mother that God gave them and that is responsible for their future. You can do it, Mom. You are a powerhouse.
This is the issue that everything else will rise and fall on. If we don't deal with the crisis of 3/4 of our children being indoctrinated to hate their families, hate the church, hate God, and hate their country, we're going to lose all of it. So we've got to deal with it.
The fact that the abortion movement says that an abortion is between a woman and her doctor is laughable. These women never see a doctor. They never talk to a doctor. They never even talk to a medical professional. They don't even talk to a nurse.
Here's what people need to know in this audience and anybody who's tuning into this. You are all targets of what we call medical trafficking through the COVID experience.
This whole weekend was phenomenal.
It was 3 formidable days that I have learned so much.
We got to meet a lot of people, a lot of networking with moms all over the country.
It's very inspiring to see all these mothers that I can look up to that's been through the same things I'm going through.
They had top speakers that were just encouraging.
Now I'm really motivated. These past 3 days were wonderful. I learned so much.
In learning about politics, learning about our country, learning about history can change what is going on right now.
In order for us to stand as a nation,
yes,
we have to keep faith in there.
We do.
We have to keep real, unadulterated faith in Christ Jesus to be able to stand against what we're fighting against.
A constitutional republic does not survive unless we, the people, are involved in the system and holding our leaders accountable.
History has been changed by people who were unwilling to quit.
Kimberly Fletcher, a face of bravery. But all of us need to understand that we need to put a face to those brave people, those brave in our communities.
Kimberly Fletcher is an absolute national treasure, in my opinion, doing God's work. You guys keep supporting them with everything you got, and I will too.
Moms for America is one of the most important organizations in saving our republic.
So we are on a culture-changing mission, and we are ready to turn the world around. And you are the freaking awesome rock stars who are going to make it happen.
Courage has a face,
and it looks just like you. Don't just say, I love America, act on it.
Well, what a great event that was. I mean, I just relived it with you, Kimberly. That was so amazing.
And
our moms
go
were
back and do it again.
No, well, we are going to do one this year, right? We could tease that.
Yes, we are. Another 3-day event in Utah in the fall. It's going to be awesome. And I am really, really excited for all the cool things that are going to happen with that.
It's going to be great. I can't wait. We're in the planning stages already. But along with this summit, Friday night, or was it Thursday night? I do get mixed up myself. But the first evening, we had a chance to really celebrate the 20 years of Moms for America. We had a vision video. We honored you with an award and flowers, and we all talked about the impact that you have made, the impact that Moms for America made. What were some other fun things? Oh, John Rich did a concert that night.
He did. And it's funny because we're in a church where we held this event, and he kept asking me for the song that I wanted, and he knew the song that I wanted, but I was like, I don't think I can ask for it in the church. And finally he's like, all right, Kimberly, if you get permission from the pastor, will you? So I'm like, okay. So I got the song I wanted, Ride a Horse. Save a horse, ride a cowboy.
Yeah. That was really something. I'm telling you, John Rich, he's on our advisory board. He did a full out concert for us. And then Jim Caviezel was another really great speaker that we had a chance to honor. Jim Caviezel's not, yeah.
He was so impressive that one of the guys that works with us, I'm a part of an organization of a lot of conservative leaders across the country. And he was so impressed that he said, we need to have him come and speak at our next event. And he did. And everybody was like blown away. I mean, it's just, he has such a good message of, listen, this is the evil. Okay. This is the light. And the hope is you're going to choose the light. We don't want to go that direction. It was just very well done. And it really felt like it fit within our message as a whole, as an organization. Be the light we are.
Yeah, he did. And we gave him the Champion of Freedom Award, like you said. You had a chance to talk about your last 20 years of the organization. And we also had a beautiful dinner that evening. And so many people came to celebrate Moms for America at that gala dinner.
Okay, and I just have to highlight Haley. So those of you who don't know, Haley is our event queen. She's our
That's a good one, event queen.
It is. I like that title. And she's Debbie's daughter, and she's been trained very well under the tutelage of Deb. And she's just a daggone rock star. And I got to say that everything about that event was because she was just on it from the very beginning, from the tents we had to put up to the dinners that we had, walking into that dinner Friday night and seeing the candles everywhere. And it was just like, oh my gosh, this is just beautiful. She just did an exceptional job. And I don't think it would have been able to be the event that it was without her. So I just want to give kudos to her. We've got an incredible team, absolutely incredible team that makes all these things happen.
Yeah, sure do. Well, we just happen to have another highlight reel of the gala. So let's go to that because you get a chance to see, what it was like at our gala. It's the Friday Night Gala. We're here in Dallas, Texas. We are celebrating 20 years of Moms for America. What an incredible event this is going to be. And we have some special surprises for Kimberly Fletcher.
Congratulations, Kimberly, on 20 years for Moms for America. God bless you. God bless America. And thank you very much.
I just wanted to wish Kim Fletcher and Moms for America a happy 20th anniversary. God bless.
Happy 20th anniversary. Kimberly, you are a visionary woman. God put it on your heart to do this, and I am so grateful for it. Best wishes for the next 20 years.
Tonight we're celebrating all of the moms in the audience that are fighting for their children, for the dads who are defending their families, and for us, the moms of America, uniting together with courage, because America is our country. Amen.
Our founding fathers believed that there was greatness that resides in every one of us, and all that was necessary to unleash that greatness was liberty. And they believed that liberty came from God and God alone, and not from man. Because I'll tell you what, if it came from man, man can take it away from you. Something that Ronald Reagan said. Let us be said of us by those who come after us that we did everything we could do to finish the race, to keep the faith, and to keep them free.
The school system is failing our children. With this, I was able to look towards Moms for America and know that I had the support and confidence to pull my child out of school and do what I needed to do best for him. I just wanted to say how grateful I am for Kimberly and for this program and for everything that they offer.
I haven't even mentioned the thousands of mothers over the course of the 14 years I've been with Moms for America that have told me I've started praying with my children. We've started having family devotional. I'm telling them the miracle stories of America. We read out of the book of virtues at night before I put the kids to bed. We're passing up Disneyland. I'm taking my kids to historical sites instead. Liberty begins at home. I've heard Kimberly say this. I hear it in my sleep when she says, the greatest acts of patriotism that a woman will ever do will occur within the four walls of her home.
We also did this special video from our staff.
Kimberly, I love that you dream large, you fight strong, and you work hard to make things happen. And that you never back down.
You equip us, you empower us, and you encourage us along the way. You were the first one on the battlefield, you were the last one off, and you are William Wallace in female form.
She inspires a culture of empathy and opportunity, showing us that effective leadership, it's about being courageous and uplifting others.
Hi, Mom. I just wanted to thank you for raising me as your daughter so I could grow up to become your friend. I have thoroughly enjoyed these last 20 years, and especially the last few years that we've spent traveling together, and I look forward to many more.
We all of us here, we love you.
We have moms rising up in Japan and Brazil, all because Miss Kimberly has planted the seeds of freedom in the hearts and minds of women around the nation to rebuild patriotism and culture of liberty in this nation, which is so needed. And so we wanted to give you this present for those times where you feel discouraged. We were on a phone call one day and we were complaining to each other. Lots of tears were shed. You vented, I vented, and God told me, Ellie, you gotta get together with these moms and have them write some things for her to help her in those moments where she feels discouraged. We all need a pick-me-up. And we are here to lift you up because you lift us all up.
We just really thought about who is she? She's the founder, and she's leaving a legacy to America and to these kids and these moms that she's constantly touching. This is your moment. And you deserve this because you've been just so amazing. This is your award from Moms for America for being an incredible founder and leaving a great legacy.
And when I can't get up in the morning, my husband reminds me, go look at the email that mom sent you, thanking God that you guys are out there. So I want to thank God for all of them for being out there, and for my husband, who makes sure I keep getting up and not giving up.
I want to say congratulations to Kimberly Fletcher and Moms for America on your 20th anniversary of fighting the good fight. It's an honor to be a part of this situation in even a small way. Thank you for everything that you've been doing, and I know the future is going to be absolutely incredible. God bless you, ladies, and keep up the good work.
My amazing, wonderful team just gave me the most amazing night ever, and I'm speechless. I was totally took my breath away. just to see how much love they have for me, because I have so much for them. The award was amazing. My daughter giving me the flowers and being able to sit by my man. I mean, this was like the crescendo, I think, of the 20-year anniversary. It was fabulous.
Moms for America!
Well, that was such an incredible evening. Wow, I just love watching this because I wish we could have another gala, but we'll have to wait another 10 years for that one, Kim.
Yeah.
We'll do that for the 30th, the next gala dinner.
It was awesome. It was awesome building up to it and the crescendo of having it. It was actually kind of sad when everybody, gets ready to get, it's the last speech and everybody gets ready to go. And then we all went out in the parking lot and got video and pictures together. But that's the hard part is you build up, and then everybody goes home. But you stay connected through Zoom. So thank goodness for Zoom.
When we did that 20th gala, somebody said, well, what are you going to do for honoring Kimberly? And I said, I'm going to do everything that you could ever imagine, because this woman has worked so hard on this organization. And I know so many people know that you live in your car and you travel across the country, not literally live in your car, but you really have given this your all. So it was really, as much as it was for us to just rally behind you and celebrate you, it was an honor to bless you and, get that rounding standing ovation. And I mean, that must have been pretty surreal for you anyways, to stand there and be like, 20 years. Wow.
Yeah. Well, what's weird is when I get standing ovations like a lot, and I get people coming up and asking for my autograph. And I just keep looking at, I'm just me. I'm just Kimberly. I do the dishes like everybody else. I have to mop the floors. I have to get my kids and grandkids taken care of. And so I'm just me. But when those moments happen, I realize it's not me that they're honoring. It's the commitment and dedication that I have made to something they believe in. Yeah. And maybe it's something they can't do. And it's kind of like them thanking me for being out there and being willing to do it. And that's a pretty good feeling when you know that you've touched somebody's heart and soul, and you're able to meet a need and a dream that they have, and that they don't feel like they can fill. We give them something to do, even in the smallest level. And when all of us do just one thing, it just makes such a monumental impact. And so when those things happen, it does really, it touches me, because I realize I'm touching other people.
Yeah. And 20 years, that is a very big commitment. I guess when you look back at that, you're like probably shocked. Or did it go by fast?
I'm surprised I'm still here.
I'm sure. I mean, it's been a journey, but I mean, to get to 20, wow, that's just commendable to be leading an organization, That's big stuff.
It is. Yeah. It was a lot of sacrifice. It was a big commitment. And I've asked the Lord, at the very beginning, I kept asking the Lord, why are you asking me to do this? Because there are so many people who know so much more and can do a much better job. And he answered me, and he said, yes, but they'll do it their way. And I want it done my way. And he knew I'd have to do it his way, because I'd be having to do it on my knees, because I didn't have a clue what I was doing. Yeah. But he put me in all the right places to meet the right people, to have the experiences that I needed to be able to fulfill this role. And somehow he sustained me, my health, my family, our home. And it's when, I guess the thing that I would really want to impress upon people is that when God calls you to do something, he doesn't leave you alone. He qualifies you, and he gives you what you need to be able to fulfill the role that he's asked you to fulfill. Mm-hmm. And it's something that if you don't do, maybe nobody else can do it. And so I can say that I know for a fact, one of the reasons I've discovered that he chose me out of all the people in the world to do this is because I'm like a dog with a bone. And I'm not going to let it go until he says, well done, thou good and faithful servant, or you screwed it up, get out. And so I'm going to hold on, and I'm going to keep going no matter how hard it gets, no matter how high the climb, no matter how big the challenge is, no matter how hard the sacrifice is. Mm-hmm. I'm going to keep going until he says, good job, you can go now.
And I can attest to that. Our whole team has to keep up with you because you're so determined. And our team is so determined. All right, moms, when we return, we'll continue our discussion with Kimberly Fletcher, and we will also hear about her vision for Moms for America in 2025. Stay with us. Hi, moms. I'm excited to share some news about our new sponsor, the Herzog Foundation. We know you're passionate about raising patriots and empowering your children with the best education possible. And the Herzog Foundation shares that passion. They're dedicated to promoting liberty through education freedom and helping parents like you choose the best educational path. They offer a powerhouse of resources designed to support families and schools alike, whether you're ready to dive in headfirst to the world of education or simply looking for more ways to empower your child's learning. From free training events to their must-read online publication, The Lion, they're committed to keeping you informed about what's happening in education. Also, if you've ever thought, moms, about starting your own Christian school or co-op, their School Box online course will give you everything you need to get started on the right foot. Again, we are so proud to partner with the Herzog Foundation, and we encourage you to explore all their amazing tools and the insights that they offer. So go ahead, visit herzogfoundation.com to learn more. You won't want to miss these incredible resources. Again, find it all out at herzogfoundation.com.
You know, I've never really felt comfortable sharing pictures of my kids on social media. Then I found Tuvu, a premium social app with an actual, authentic community. No bots, no one trolling me or my family. Just clean, wholesome content you can trust.
Welcome back, moms. Before we continue with our interview with Kimberly, I do want to invite you to like, subscribe, and share our podcast with all of your mama friends. What a great podcast this is today. You get to hear about 2024, and you get to hear about 2025, and all some of that inside baseball with Moms for America. So please share this with your mom friends. Also, if you have an idea or a topic for our podcast, would you please email me at podcast@momsforamerica.net. I would love to hear from you. Any topics, anything that you would like to let me know about the podcast, I would love to hear from you. Lastly, I do want to invite all of our moms that are listening. If this is the first time you've joined the podcast, welcome. Obviously, we're so glad to have you. If you're just hearing about Moms for America, please join us. We are here to support you. We are moms uniting all across the country. We're fighting for faith, family, freedom, and the Constitution. So please check us out at momsforamerica.us. And if you've been a part of Moms for America, but you have a sister-in-law or a neighbor or a daughter or a grandma, whatever that is, please let them know about Moms for America. We would love to have them in our family. This year, just like every other year, right? Empowering moms, promoting liberty, raising patriots. This was a focused year for us. We wanted to make sure that moms were out voting, they were educated, they were empowered, they knew the issues at hand, they had the answers for their home, for their community. And we did just another knockout year, 2024. And I would like to show this video because it really is a recap of everything that we did. And there's still things we couldn't get into the video because we had such an amazing year. So I'd like to show that. This is what 2024 looked like for Moms for America.
There's a great quote by Matthew Vassar. He started Vassar Women's College, and he said he did so because he realized the mothers of a country mold its citizens, determine its institutions, and shape its destiny. And that is exactly what we are doing. We're shaping our own destiny. What the future looks like, that's reflected in our vision.
Empowering moms, promoting liberty, and raising patriots became the mission of Moms for America.
When I started Moms for America, it was, who am I? I'm just a mom, a homemaker. What do I know?
Moms have the biggest impact and influence on our society because they have the biggest impact and influence on our children, which is the next generation.
I feel like moms have to bring kids back to our history, our Constitution, where we came from, what we believe, and why we believe what we believe, So it's such an important mission.
It's hard work being a mom today. So it is very important to have an organization that really cares about moms.
Moms for America and this cottage meeting class and the 5,000-year leap and all of it is the answer. I didn't know God's handprints were all over our founding documents.
The Cottage Meeting Project is our signature program, affectionately labeled Tupperware for Liberty.
I can honestly say that these cottage meetings and the Healing of America courses changed my life and how I was going to parent.
But instead of promoting plasticware and candles, we're promoting the principles of liberty. When you can give history and heritage back to a mom, she wants to share it with her children, and then she wants to get involved in preserving it in her community.
I honestly believe it's our children that are going to make the biggest difference. And if they don't know these things, how will they be able to make that difference?
When children were sent home for online school during the pandemic, moms were shocked at the curriculum.
And suddenly moms all over the country are rising up and saying, hey, we need to fight back against this. And that's when our membership really started to skyrocket, and moms flooded to us en masse.
This year, Moms for America has launched an ambitious and targeted strategy to influence public policy. Our grassroots Mom Army had 80 meetings with members of Congress. Our school board classes train moms and dads to be effective school board members.
As a husband and father of 7 children, I never imagined the challenges I would face when I stepped into a role on our local Board of Education. The pressure was immense, with school employees attempting to control my moves and accusing me of policy violations. But then a beacon of hope emerged in the form of Dr. Kelly Coles. She dedicated herself to teaching me, bringing clarity to my responsibilities as a board member. We need to ensure that organizations like NSBLC and Moms for America have the resources they need to cultivate more success stories like mine.
From the kitchen table to Congress, we empower moms with valuable resources, webinars, and events to help them create a stronger, freer, sustainable future for our children. Our media influence is expanding. Our podcast engages with both innovative moms and high-profile guests. In 2024, we debuted our television show, The Mom View.
We all want our kids to just love us and be our friends, and that's not our role. Our role is to teach and guide them.
MFA Action's successful Mom Vote initiative targeted and reached 8 million low-propensity mom voters in 7 battleground states, empowering moms to register to vote and to vote their values with confidence. This year, we added thousands of new members by partnering with Tucker Carlson's live and national tour.
Our children's future depends on what we do right now.
In October, we hosted a live-streamed Mom Vote Town Hall in Philadelphia with Vice President-elect J.D. Vance that was seen by millions of moms and their families.
And I promise that when Donald Trump and I are back in office, you're going to have somebody who fights for you and fights for your right as parents. We want parents making these decisions, not anybody else.
When hurricanes rained down disaster in North Carolina and Florida, Moms for America united with Mercury One and other organizations to provide rescue and relief. Moms in several states united to fill 7 52-foot semi-trucks with desperately needed supplies. And with all that happening in 2024, we found time to throw a party.
Tonight we're celebrating all of the moms in the audience.
Our 20th anniversary celebration featured a 3-day summit with over 70 speakers, educating and inspiring moms.
This is the issue that everything else will rise and fall on. If we don't deal with the crisis of 3/4 of our children being indoctrinated to hate their families, hate the church, hate God, and hate their country, we're going to lose all of it. So we've got to deal with it.
We've come a long way in 20 years, but at this pivotal moment in time, the unique and vital mission of Moms for America is needed more than ever.
You do not want to mess with a mama bear. And so I'm glad that Moms for America are charging these women so that they can be in there, be on the front lines, and see America become great again.
The moms of this country are coming together. We are teaching our children the right way. We are growing patriots.
That's why I love Moms for America, because we are always going to need this organization. Guess why? Because we're always going to need each other.
Everybody, please pray for Moms for America. If you're a mom, join Moms for America. Do all that you can to help the moms roar and build a stronger, better America.
There are more of us than there are of them, and we are uniting together to take our country back. If you want to make your place in history by shaping the future of the country, take a chance on us, because we are dedicated to protecting our kids, defending our freedoms, and restoring the Republic through the mothers of America.
Okay, I'm just tired watching that. You know, I have to say, I have sat down with a lot of people who are, you know, who donate to other organizations, and I'll sit down and tell them what we do. And one of the questions I get, you know, the first question is, what do you do? And I literally just, the first thing that pops in my head is, well, we save the world. And it's kind of, it seems like it, you know, sometimes, but it's that we're impacting and affecting the culture. And everything that we do is about that. And everything else stems from it. We want people to understand, moms especially, everything's about moms. We want them to understand how significant their influence is, how important they are in our country and culture. That the most important thing they will ever do, the greatest act of patriotism they'll ever perform will be within the walls of their own home. And the whole world is telling them something completely different. And so we go to them, we help them realize how important they are. We put a love of liberty and their heart, and then they naturally want to share it with their children. The story of America and who we are, it's been stolen from us. Our history and our heritage has just been wiped away, and we give it back. And when these moms, when their hearts get touched, it's awesome to see the lights go off and hear their testimonies after they recognize just how important they are and that they are the answer. And we truly are. The hand that rocks the cradle isn't just a cute little saying, it's an immortalized fact. So everything that we did this year was moving that idea of the significance of mothers in their homes, in their communities. And especially through our vote, we needed to hold the line so that we could springboard forward and move those principles and values to lift our culture. And so the election was vitally important. And I mean, just being able to say we reached 8 million low propensity moms who don't usually vote, and moms who voted against their values historically and didn't realize it, especially in the Hispanic and Black communities. These mamas were like, no, I'm not going to have any of this transgender nonsense. No, I'm not going to have this DEI. I can't even tell you how angry this one woman. I was at an event and we were talking about DEI, and this woman came across the room, and I turned around and I noticed she was Black, and she said, "Don't you even tell my child that they can't achieve anything that they want just because they're color." And I was like, that's exactly what DEI does. And I was like, you're right. You need to start telling people that, because you can say that and it has such a much bigger influence and impact. And she just paused for a minute. She goes, well, I can do that. And I was like,
and then we said, good, you're signed up.
That's right. So when we pull together as moms, we can just make some major exciting things happen just by being who we are, not afraid to speak out and speak truth. And so we knocked on doors, we made phone calls in our walkathons. I mean, then the walkathon was so cool because moms don't wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to be an activist today. They don't wake up and say, I want to do ballot chasing or door knocking campaigns. They don't do that, but they care about their neighbors. They like to connect with their neighbors. They care about their friends, their family, and their future of our country. And that's what they did. They went out in a walkathon and they met with their neighbors and they talked about things that mattered to them. And we reached 8 million moms.
Incredible.
So that's huge.
And we went coast to coast with Tucker Carlson, 17 cities.
That was nuts.
Amazing. About 10,000 to maybe 12,000 folks at every stop. We had a chance to share Moms for America. That was 7 of those were swing states, right? They're battleground states.
Yeah. Okay. And then we jump people need to really understand. I mean, when you're sitting here talking about these things, I need to put a little perspective on what we actually accomplished this year because I don't know how we did it. I don't know how Debbie did it. So it's literally 6 weeks, maybe 7, that we had to plan a 3-day gala celebration summit leadership training in Dallas, Texas. In the middle of that, I'm like, we've been wanting to do this event with Tucker Carlson. We should do that. So, I mean, we're barely even, I don't even think I think we're still in the middle of
We were in the
planning
middle
event.
of
It hadn't
it,
even
yeah.
happened. It hadn't even happened yet. And I said, Debbie, we need to do an event with Tucker Carlson. And so we've been trying to get an event with him for years, and it was always about scheduling. And so I called up his assistant and I said, listen, we keep trying to pigeonhole him into our events. How about we do it backwards? So you just pick the date and the location. We'll make it happen on our end. So I call Debbie and I tell her, hey, we got a date. It's April 11th. And she's like, I'm still working on slides and 72 speakers, and you're talking to me about this other event. So, and in the midst of that,
that is true.
in the midst of that,
Yeah.
we do our Moms for America song that we've been wanting to do for 2 years.
That's
Debbie
right.
puts all of that together. And then we, after 6 years of waiting, we launched the Mom View. And we do that right after our 20th anniversary. We do the Mom View. Then we
major
go
television
out
show.
Major television show. And then we go out to see Tucker for the Tucker Carlson event. And then 2 weeks after that, he calls and his assistant calls and says, hey, Tucker's doing an event this fall and he'd like you to be a part of it. And so we start planning that. And it was just like, and of course, through all of this, we're still doing cottage meetings. We're still launching our moms groups. We're speaking all over the country. We're doing the webinars. It's just like, how do you do it? And then in the middle of the Tucker tour, I'm like, okay. It actually was before then. In the middle of all this other stuff that's happening, I said, Debbie, we need to do a mom vote town hall. And she's like, yeah, I'm out.
This is about when I really did it. It's like, this is not even possible, Kimberly.
No, not doing it.
But then we knew that this election was so important.
But here's the crazy thing. So I didn't know what it was. All I knew was God said, pick a date and pick a location. And so I'm like, okay, I picked a date and a location. It was going to be Dallas, October 6th. And I'm like, we're in Dallas, so we'll just do it there. We know the venue. And I'm like, I don't think that's what it's going to be, but maybe it doesn't even happen. I don't know. And then we go out to this event in August, and all these people start to talk about, I don't even know how the mom vote thing came up. And like, oh, you should do it in Pennsylvania, because Pennsylvania was the hotbed of the election.
I started getting calls about Pennsylvania and putting two and two together over here. And then I put two and two together with you. And it's like,
next thing you know, Debbie, who is totally out, I am not doing that, comes to me and says, Kimberly, we need to do the mom vote town hall. We need to do it in Philadelphia. And I'm like,
Pennsylvania, go to the battleground. Yeah.
And we need to do it. And like, we need to have JD Vance, because the moms in this country need to hear from JD. Maybe they don't think they don't understand. They don't recognize the value that President Trump brings to the table. Okay, fine. But if they can't stomach him, they need to hear JD so that we get them in. And it worked. And the moms connected, and we had this incredible event. We had 8 moms
from coast to 10 moms, right?
Yeah.
Well, 10 guests.
10 guests, 8 moms.
Coast to coast, Florida to California.
And they all shared their own personal story about issues that were happening specifically to them based on the issues that the president was talking about and wanting to counter. And JD did such a good job. And every single time one of these moms shared their story, you could tell he was real, and the compassion wasn't made up. He truly was feeling for what they went through. And he would say, I'm so sorry that's just not right. That shouldn't have happened. And you could tell he was sincere. And the moms heard this, and millions of moms saw this video. And we replayed it, and we did snippets and shared the stories. And it
was live streamed from Forbes to Fox. I mean, everybody carried this. And it was just really powerful stories, because each of those stories represented everything that every mom is dealing with at some level. Clearly, from fentanyl to the border to safety to the gender crisis. And I mean, it was everything that every mom is dealing with in her home.
Yeah. And the issues aren't going away. No. That's the thing for people to remember, is that just because President Trump got in and all these amazing cabinet picks are being chosen, it doesn't mean we're done. First of all, we have to get those cabinet picks they need to actually be confirmed.
Right.
He's nominated them. They need to be confirmed. Some of them are appointees that don't need to be confirmed, but most of them need to be confirmed. And there's some pushback on some of them.
Right.
And, there was pushback on President Trump. But
Right.
we sent a message to the cabal that we're not having any more of this. But that means that we didn't win to go away. Okay. I love how they said it on a call today. They said, the win was the 20-yard line. We got 80 more yards to go. And I don't want to make, you enjoy it. Okay. Enjoy this time with your family. I don't want to overwhelm you, but January 6th, get up and let's make this January 6th the day that we commit to kicking that ball down the field and taking those 80 yards 1 yard at a time, 1 foot at a time, 1 inch at a time. I don't care. But if all of us are doing it together, then we're going to make a difference. And that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
We have
let's talk about
big projects.
2025. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we ended with President Trump. We ended with Mar-a-Lago. We had a great event. We had a chance to honor him with Man of the Century. I do want to mention that because that was really fun. And now we're planning 2025. Actually, we've been planning 2025 for obviously this past year as well. But some of the things that we want to do, Kimberly, is really I guess we always say we're the ultimate support group for moms. But this year, we're going to do some really exciting things to even come alongside them and focus on mamas.
Yeah, so we have a couple of projects that are ongoing, and one is our CDC lawsuit. It has been filed in the 11th Circuit Court, and we are in the back and forth process. It will most probably go to the appellate, and we feel pretty confident it's going to go to the Supreme Court in 2025. So that's going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
That will take the blanket immunity out of all of these people. It's unconstitutional. Blanket immunity is unconstitutional. You should have a right, an opportunity. You have the right. You need to have that right protected to go after people, to file lawsuits when they have purposely harmed you. And that's exactly what happened during COVID. These mask mandates, the distancing, the lies that were told, the injections of all these chemicals that are killing people, and nobody can do anything. And so taking away the blanket immunity will ensure that this never happens again, because no school district, no elected representative, no hospital, no pharmaceutical company is going to say, hey, let's do something that's going to hurt people when they know they're going to be held accountable for it. So that will unravel everything.
Huge.
And we're going to continue pushing that down. We've been working on that for almost 2 years now. And this is sustainability. We're going to stick with it. And then we have, of course, the cottage meeting project, continue on with that, but we're going to grow and we're going to expand it.
Yeah.
And we're going to do it as part of something spectacular. And we're kind of naming each program now, but underneath an umbrella. And America 2025. Think about that. America 250. It is a 250th anniversary in 2026. So for 2025, we get to build up all the way up to July 2026, when we can celebrate the anniversary of the United States of America. And this isn't just about a one-day celebration or a one-month fair. This is, what can we do in our homes, our communities, our cities, our states to share this light of liberty, to reignite this passion. I remember that 1976. I was 10 years old, and it was the 200th anniversary, bicentennial of the United States of America, and it was like an explosion of patriotism everywhere. And everyone from Avon to Jack Daniels had some kind of commemorative piece, which now resides in my home at some place everywhere. And I think I own stock in eBay. But I mean, I remember, and as a 10-year-old, what that meant to me and how it impressed upon me so much that I literally now own stock in eBay, but don't get dividends. Anyway, I care about those things. And then the stories of America, that we share through the cottage meetings and through Moms for America. We want to share those stories.
And restore patriotism and all those wonderful things that are so a part of our organization. It's like perfect timing. I mean, the country's been so divided, right? Now we are united. We're going to have to be united, and we're going to go
We have
forward and we're
to.
going to celebrate
We get to
America.
come. We get to come together on the principles. We get to come together on the story.
Yeah.
We have Liberty trips that we're going to be launching. We have. We're going to continue our podcast, our webinars, the Mom View, at cottage meetings in Spanish, cottage meetings for teens, cottage meetings for kids. I mean, we have all of these great things. We're going to
Huge
Constitution
Hispanic
Bee.
outreach now. Yeah.
Yes, the Hispanic outreach. Okay, so that's another project that we're working on that will also tie under the idea, the umbrella of America 250. And that is the Citizenship Project. There are over 2 million legal permanent residents in the United States. And they can become citizens. And the only reason they aren't is because they haven't taken the citizenship test and paid the small fee. And they are intimidated by the citizenship test. So Vanessa Fora from our team has created this ground up program that's absolutely phenomenal. It's already been tested out very successfully. And it's a 6-week program. This isn't just come in and study, go take the test. This is come in, be a part of a community. And so whether, in the Hispanic community, largely the majority of those 2 million LPRs, legal permanent residents, are women, and most of them are Hispanic. So you've got Asian, you've got Africa, they come from everywhere, and they'll all benefit. But this is a major part of our Hispanic outreach because they're flooding to us from these countries. And at the end of those 6 weeks, they meet for 2 hours a week for 6 weeks. At the end of those 2 weeks, they aren't able to just pass the citizenship test, but they're also, absolutely in love with America, understands what it stands for, and are really to fight for it. They're ready to fight for it in their homes, communities, and through their vote because they don't want what they left. So all of that kind of fits under America 250, which we're very excited about, and working with the president on his big national fair in Iowa. And then we have, of course, our family lobby is going to be expanded more. We're going to be recruiting more school district ambassadors, fully trained, to be able to be in those school districts and create a relational network between the parents, the teachers, and the school board members who are opposed to all this, and be a counter voice to the teachers' unions. That's something that's very important to us. But we also know that 2026 is also a midterm election year. And those who felt that they lost are going to work very, very hard to continue to destroy the country by backtracking on everything that we have accomplished. And so we want to make sure that we hold the lines. We'll be doing more walkathons, more phone calls to make sure that we maintain the House for good conservative candidates, have an opportunity to go in primary elections and primary out those quote rhinos that are not standing on the principles and values that their platform espouses. And then, of course, we have an opportunity to protect and through legislation and litigation against mutilating children, this transgender nonsense, the gender confusion, the DEI nonsense, the ESG. And I think with Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy at the helm of tearing these things apart, we have a whole bunch of people on now the national government level who can work side by side with us instead of coming after us for not buying into their nonsense.
Right.
We now
more
have
weaponization
people who
of
can
government.
work together. Yeah. Now we're going to purge the nonsense. And this is a very, very exciting time for me. But the thing that excites me the most is the America 250 and all the incredible things that we can do with that.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I guess probably people are exhausted just listening to us talk. I'm exhausted thinking about what we're going to do, but I'm also so excited because it's this kind of energy that is contagious, right? Courage is contagious. This energy of saving America, protecting our children, being a warrior, all those things are so important to moms, and they do it so well, and we support one another. And I know all the moms that are listening, hopefully you are a part of our family. If you're not a part of our family, please join us at momsforamerica.us and join our sisterhood. I mean, it really is an incredible family all across the country uniting together. Right, Kimberly? Closing words from yourself there.
Well, every time anybody asks me that, I just want to make sure and remind all the moms out there just how important you are and why it is that we do what we do. Like Debbie said, we are the ultimate support group for moms. And through the history of the world, people have recognized, governments, leaders have recognized the significance and influence of mothers. And So when Matthew Vassar started Vassar Women's College, he said he did so because he realized that the mothers of a country mold its citizens, determine its institutions, and shape its destiny. When Alex de Tocqueville came to the United States trying to figure out what made this democracy different from all the others in all the world, he realized that it was largely because of the strength and significance of its women. And he said, righteous women in their circle of influence, beginning in the home, can turn the world around. So, ladies, we are on a national cultural mission to turn the world around. And we know just how significant your influence is. And working together in small little bites, little ripples in the pond, we are going to have a major tsunami of cultural relief from the oppressions that we've suffered. And we are going to be able to turn the tide and make sure that we have a preservation of all the things that we hold dear, our faith, our family, our freedom. That is worth fighting for. And I'm grateful, honored, and excited to be in this fight with you.
Yay! Wonderful, Kimberly. Nobody could have wrapped that out any better than yourself. So thank you for coming by the podcast. And our moms were so delighted to talk with you and talk with you, but have you talk with them, I should say. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Anytime.
All right, Kimberly. We will see you on the road soon. And 2025 is here. What a great discussion today with Kimberly Fletcher. You can see why we all absolutely love her, and she truly is an inspiration. So thanks again, Kimberly, for joining us. And 2025 is going to be amazing, moms. And we do want to thank you for joining us again and joining us on this journey. Again, please check us out at momsforamerica.us. Check out all of our amazing programs, resources, seminars, webinars, everything you can imagine. Kimberly and I talked a lot about that today. The things that are going to be coming up in 2025. We are here to support you on your journey through motherhood. So please check us out at momsforamerica.us. Sign up for our newsletter, fill out the forms. We will go ahead and contact you and help you right in your home, in your community, and in your country. It's mamas that are making a difference all across this great land. Well, I say this every week, from parental rights to public policy, from the kitchen table to Congress, Moms for America has it all, and we are here for you. So moms, let's keep changing our country. You got it. One home at a time, and I will see you next week. Thank you all, and God bless. A special thank you to our sponsors, the Herzog Foundation and Tuvu. The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Herzog Foundation.